Hey, my name is Zach. Welcome back to another tutorial. In this one, I'm going to be showing you how to create a picnic table. It should be easy if you all know how to use tubes and cubes. It should be clear and short. It's for beginners only too, or more if you're mature or not, and if you're a creator that's trying to learn a little more. But I'm going to get right to it. So we're going to start off by using our tubes, which is that'll make the picnic table like stands for where we sit and the table. So I got my tubes and I got my color and material. Make sure your tube settings, make sure your tube radius would be like around 0.04. Your tube height score should be at 1, tube face at 10, smooth tubes off, connect nearby tubes on, and uniform shapes on. So I'm gonna try to level this out. So somewhere around my maybe around to the middle of my face, probably, or maybe down to where my chin's at. I could say maybe right here, and then just start dragging it down. I think that's okay. Good. I'm just gonna manuate this down to maybe somewhere around there, and then drag it over to the left, and then I'm gonna try to level that out because if it doesn't look leveled, I would try to fix that uh, perfectly as I can. So this could, yeah, okay. So I'm gonna go back and then create, probably manuate this part maybe a little bit farther. So I'm gonna click on edit, move that over to maybe around there. I think that should be good. Maybe if I just do one more, there we go. And then create, and then just start dragging it up until like halfway where that was. So I could say, around there. There we go. And then not lined up, so I'm gonna have to make sure that looks good, and then maybe put that down. And so somewhere around here, I don't know if it's gonna be that well or not, but we will see if it will or not. And then clone the opposite way, and somewhere around maybe that close. And then now what we can do is go to our palette shapes, and then click on the tube simple, and then almost to the middle, below the middle. Make sure to place the cube right there and manipulate it so it can touch that tube right there. And then put your snapping on off. Make sure that you can manipulate it so it'll look like it's not. Um, I don't know how you say it, but once you got that, you can now start cloning all that, and then you can make it how far you want it. So somewhere maybe around right here. Put my snapping on grid so I can level it. There we go. And once you got that, select all that right there and just move it so it can touch the floor. So once you got that taken care of, what you can do is put my stepping on off. I'm gonna go back to tubes on this, and actually no, not tubes. Go to cube simple, put your snapping on grid, and then make sure you can manipulate that in the center, and then make sure it touches the tube. Manipulate it like maybe around somewhere around that thick, maybe around somewhere around that thick right there, and then make sure it touches the end of the tube. Drag it all the way. Make sure it's touching at the end of it. If it looks good, you can now clone that to the other side too. Make sure it's in the center, and that's pretty much the whole bar. Make sure that it looks like it's standing up. So here's the part where you can choose in how to make your the table and the seats. So I'm gonna go to either cube or cube simple. I'm gonna use cube though, and I'm gonna get my color and material. So I'm probably gonna be using brown, and somewhere around my material with wood grain, and I don't know, just do any size, 188. Put your sniping on grid, and then make sure it's diagonal. So I could say, yeah, around there. Place a cube right there, and make sure that's diagonal, like at least 2 times. I could say, yeah. So somewhere around there, and then just drag it all the way down, and make sure it's extended by like 1 cube, pretty much. And then you're gonna have to do that to the other side too. If it doesn't look leveled for you, you can move it around. So just move that just a tiny bit, and then yeah. So I think it looks good for it from here. Then just clone it from the other side too. Make sure you can go beneath it and see if it's leveled. Alright, so now you got the seats. Now what you can do is make the table. So I am gonna place one right here and manipulate it so it can touch the end of the tube pretty much, almost close to it. And then drag all the way to the... Sorry for the cut. I had to do something that was personal. So what you're gonna have to do is make sure it's kind of looks something like that. Extend it one time, and then now what you can do is you can either make it like that if you want, but the way I'm gonna do is clone it so it looks like there's like wood stacked onto it. So I'm gonna move it so it looks like there's a tiny bit of a crack right there. Do the other side too. And again, if it doesn't look leveled, you can always move it. So that's not really entirely all of the steps for the picnic table, but the way I made it so that there's like 3 logs. So this one, so the left and the right doesn't look like it's like standing up. So what I'm gonna have to do is make sure that I make it that it is standing. So I'm gonna go to cube and somewhere maybe around the middle. So I'll have to try to find the middle if I can. So somewhere around here. And then manipulate that as thin as you can. And then let's start doing, make sure it's not all the way towards the edge of the left and the right plank. So somewhere around that close, it should be good. And then what you can do, yeah, so that's, so as it's not in the middle, I'm gonna try to get that in the middle. Just try to get it close as possible. If it's not close, it's fine. Now what you can do is get your tube out and put your tube around, maybe around 0.10, like around this size, so 0.01. So I'm gonna go over here, get to the middle as possible. So right here would be good, and make sure it drags to that part. So If that looks good, there we go. And then clone that the opposite way. And I think what we're going to need to do, if it looks like that, we're just going to have to extend that. Pretty much like that. And then we're going to, and then clone two of these. So one at the left side and the right side. And then clone it and then manipulate around, somewhere around like that. And then drag it down so it touches this part of the cube. And clone it this way and make sure you don't. And then that's so that's pretty much all. You just now built your picnic table. So I hope you all enjoyed the tutorial. If you have anything else you want me to teach, comment down below. If you liked it, you can give it a like, and I will see you all in the next tutorial.